Yeah, come and sit down so we'll record your voice.
I have to check in with Linda before we go and get all that info.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm gonna, I guess, do an intro kind of a thing. All right, so this is Liz Caruso from Virtual Ponies, and I have Heather with me, and we are at Fairwinds Farm sitting in the middle of a field talking to my computer. I'm getting a audio recording from Mark Mullen, who's the owner of Fairwinds Farm, and we just got to go out in the field and get pictures of the little de novo kit mutation of, he doesn't have a name yet, but he was a Standardbred Colt who was born last month, and he's adorable. So thank you for letting us come here and letting us interview you and talking to my computer in the middle of the field.
Sure.
So if you want to introduce yourself, like how many years have you been in the business? Like how long have you owned the farm, which is beautiful. It's like 600 acres and it's awesome.
Yes, well, my family bought this place back in 1968, I believe the year was, and our name is Mullen, M-U-L-L-E-N.
Mullen, sorry about that.
So, and we started breeding horses back then, and we really didn't really know anything about it, you know, to be honest. It was a project that my father began, just an interest of his that sort of took off. We started with this main farm here, we call it, which is 150 acres, and we ended up buying more ground as time went on, and so now we're up to 600 acres between this property and then on the other side of town by the golf course.
All right. Oh, so I have a question. Was anyone present for the birth of the little dominant white colt?
Yep, we have a night watchman during the foaling season, and he's been doing it for, I don't know, 15 or 20 years. And you know, you can imagine when all your horses are brown or bay, and you may have a little bit of white here and there, or on a foot, or you know, what have you. And so he's pulling this foal out of the mare, and there's a little white, and then there's a little more white, and the head is white, and the neck is white, and the shoulders are white, and it's
yeah, so it's like, oh, it's got a bald face and white legs, and
yeah,
oh my gosh, the rest.
Hysterical, yeah. So,
yeah, so
it was very unusual.
Yeah, and I heard, I read one of the interviews that you had where, like, I think your first reaction you said was like, uh-oh, did someone mix up the vials?
That's right, that's right. You just don't have grays or roans in the business the way this guy is. Mm-hmm. And so you know, my personal first thought, was they have a teaser or some other breed up there that they, had a mix-up in the office or something.
Someone mixed up with a pinto. Oh,
I had never heard of this mutation that you were so familiar with. I didn't know such a thing existed. But.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's getting a lot more recognized in the horse world, especially in non-pinto breeds, like in thoroughbreds. A whole bunch of the genes have been isolated of dominant white, and they range from looking like normal high white markings all the way to a completely white horse. Like there's the Patchen line is known for having almost 100% white horses every single time. Mm-hmm. And then I just showed you an example of Mutation loss, one of the other dominant white standardbreds who looks kind of like a pinto, but it's kind of crazy because, again, all these instances kind of happen where there's, like, in Kentucky with the thoroughbreds, or it's recorded, you know, somewhere else, and then it's like, oh my gosh, it's in New Jersey. I live in New Jersey. I'm going to go see it.
I'm glad it was so meaningful. It was a little frightening when it first occurred. Oh my God, what are we going to do with that?
I know. It's like, oh, so what have you heard about? Because, like, I know with me, I've heard about the problem of the old wives' tale of a white foot is a weak foot. Like, what has your experience been with that in the business?
Exactly that. I mean, 90% of our horses are bays and browns, and whenever you bring a yearling to auction who is not consistent, who is not the typical looking individual, then you're going to get demerits for it, if you will. So typically a horse with more white, a sock or something up the hock, or a big flashy blaze or white feet, you know, that's not your typical standardbred, and people will kind of, you know, it'll be reflected negatively in the sale, you know, horse for horse, everything else being equal. So, but I have to say that the interest that this horse has generated has been remarkable. I mean, we've been doing this for 30 plus years. We've bred all kinds of, you know, champions and horses that won all kinds of stake races and the Hambletonian and everything else,
Nice.
and none of them have generated the kind of interest that this horse has.
Yeah, because I'll tell you, there's like this, I come from this whole kind of underground on the internet of horse lovers where we call ourselves the equine genetics enthusiasts. And we kind of did an enthusiastic freak out when we found out about this guy. So there's actually entire threads on forums about this colt with pictures, and people are debating like, oh my gosh, what is he? Is he Sabino 1? No, it's not. It's a new mutation. It's dominant white, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty awesome. So you get to see people like us who would normally, you know, not kind of be here.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so you know, he may at auction he may surprise us all. You know,
Yeah.
he the guy who owns the horses had offers to buy him right now.
Oh wow.
And for you know, significant more money than you think a brown horse of his you know age and appearance would bring. So
Yeah.
who knows?
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen with him.
Yeah, so like from a colorblind standpoint, from just purely conformation and movement, what's your assessment of him?
He's a good horse.
Nice.
He's a good horse. His conformation is good. He's a good size. He's appears to have a you know he doesn't have the prettiest head for a standardbred, but he's got a decent head on him, and you know just his physical appearance is one that you know he has every chance to be as good as any other out of that mare.
Nice, and I think with, even though he might not have the prettiest head, I think it gives him some distinction. It makes him unique, so that doesn't matter as long as he can race, I guess.
That's right. Well, you
Yeah.
met him.
Oh yeah.
He's a little forward in his personality.
Oh yeah,
isn't he?
he's a little pistol. He was just like, oh hi, people.
Yeah. And I don't think it's just because there's been people visiting him. I think that's just him.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah,
we'll see if that's a good thing or not.
And I want to say thank you so much for letting two random crazy college kids come up here and interview you and pet your horse and be like, oh my gosh, de novo kit mutation, even though you have no idea what that meant. And I really appreciate you having us come here and spending time. And I really look forward to seeing how this little guy matures and what happens with him, because this is pretty darn cool.
Well, I appreciate your interest in driving an hour and a half on the hottest day of the year to come see him. And it will be something to see him race.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? He could be a sire, and he could all of a sudden start a whole new thing. You know?
Yeah, I'm hoping that when he gets older, I'm hoping I get to see him on the racetrack.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah. All right, well, this is Liz Caruso and Heather Paleo, and we are signing off from Fairwinds Farm. And another thank you to Mr. Mark for having us here and letting us interview him in the middle of a field and to pet the adorable cuteness. And you will see pictures and video. So take care, and you guys have a wonderful day. Bye.
Who's a cute little de novo kit mutation? Hey! You're a cute little de novo kit mutation.